So boom, man's is on good vibes, mate. Because I got some weed I just picked up, and I got some super silver haze, mate. And I had 3 tokes as I was walking up here, and that's it. I'm finished. I literally, not finished, but feeling it, mate. I literally feeling it. It's feeling good, mate. So I can roll a fat one. I know that I'm gonna get nicely stoned, and I bought enough to last me as well. So it's all good. Like literally, it's all good. Feeling blessed. Hope you're on good vibes. Life is treating you well, and you're staying blessed. I've been alright. I've been alright. Not too bad at all. Literally not too bad at all. But I've just been taking it easy. I literally just been taking it easy, mate. Just been doing my painting, smoking, and that's pretty much it. Literally. I'm rewatching Breaking Bad, which is alright. Passes the time. And yeah. Also, I'm going to turn this video into a Q&A video and answer your questions, because I completely forgot that I said I'd make one, so I'll answer them now. Unfortunately, I can access the questions here on the screen. So, without further ado, let us get into the questions. Just wait, hold on. Let's have a look. Right. So, first question. Do I have any tattoos? No, I don't have tattoos. And you've also stated a neck tattoo you think would look good. No, I'm not getting a tattoo, mate. Like, literally, I'm not getting a tattoo. And I have no interest in tattoos. Not that I'm against them. Like, literally, I know people that have had them, and yeah, they've looked sick. Like, they've been good. But just personally, me, I wouldn't. Yeah. How much do I smoke in the day? Well, in recent times, I've been just caning off a whole drawer, literally, which has been like a gram, just under a gram. And then I've been buying like 20s. So yeah, I don't know. In a day, yeah, probably the whole bag. Like literally the whole bag. If it's a 10, if it's a 20, that would last me like the day, the night, and then the following morning, something to smoke, one like a joint in the morning. But yeah, I don't know. It just depends on like what kind of day it's been. Like literally, it depends on what kind of day it's been. Like literally. What's my ambition in life? Not to be content and not to get too stressed over fucking bullshit and put pressure on myself to fucking do this and do that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really know. Like ambitions, like I don't know. There's things I'd like to see happen in the world, but yeah, I don't know. Like literally, I wouldn't know to say, oh, this is what I want. Like I don't know. How am I able to smoke so much weed? Practice, mate. Like literally practice. Like just smoking. I kind of like, it's weird for me because like when I first started smoking weed, yeah, like I couldn't like smoke. Like literally, I couldn't smoke. Like I'd always just social smoke, and I'd only smoke like the ends. Like I'd have Sting and Roger, so like in a group, like everyone would know to like save me the end of a joint, like, and that would be my thing. Like that would be my thing. Like no matter what, like everyone would know, like they would give the end to me. Like I wouldn't see that as like an insult or just a tiny little bit of the spliff, because that's all I could manage and that's all I would want. Like I wouldn't need to have like the whole joint. I wasn't interested in rolling it and who got first smokes when they rolled it and who sparked it and blah blah blah. Like I just didn't give a shit. Like I just was happy just to have like a couple buns and then that was me sorted. Like whereas now it just developed over time where I started smoking on my own, and it was weird because I'd never smoke without my mate. Like literally me and him would always smoke, and like I'd never smoke without him. And then obviously like bit by bit, slowly like I just started smoking by myself, and then now that's all I ever do. Like literally I can't think of a time when I don't smoke by myself. But yeah, for me like smoking so much is just, yeah, just I don't know, just I feel like I've taught myself to like kind of like need weed, like in terms of like being in a bad mood if I don't have it. Whereas before, like I've only been smoking like 3.5 years, 4 years. So yeah, I went a good 20 years without smoking. Like literally. At least. And there was none of this, when I was a kid just smoking cigarettes and like, do you know what I mean? I was proper anti-smoking. Like I was fully against weed, like really against weed. Like, man, I flushed a 3-5 down the toilet once, as I've said. Literally, because I was so pissed off. Like I was with this girl, and I found weed in her bag, like literally, and like she was just coming from school, and I was like, "Why have you got weed? Why have you got weed?" Blah blah. And then she was like, "Oh, my friend gave it to me," and I was like, "They're using you as a drug mule. Why? They're not friends if they're making you hold their weed. Blah blah blah. This." And she was like, "Oh yeah, but this." I was like, "No," and I was just so angry, and I flushed it down the toilet. Like literally, I was so pissed off. Like, but as I say, like now I look back on that story, I'm thinking like, imagine like she would have gone back to school and her friend would have been like, "Where's my weed?" And she would have been like, "Oh, my boyfriend flushed it down the toilet," and they'll be like, yeah, whatever. Like thinking like she was either lying, either sold it or just taking it. Like, but I actually did flush it down the toilet. So like, yeah, like. Right, favourite zoot, morning, bedtime, or after work? I'd say after work, like literally after work, definitely. Because I like smoking, like just to chill and smoke, yeah, love it. Like if it's your first joint of the day, like this one, it's nice. But if I just sit here and just chain smoke all day long, like I just find it a bit like, yeah, I'm stoned, but I kind of like doing stuff on weed. I'm not the kind of stoner that just can't move once they've smoked a joint. Like I like to be able to do things. So if I've had a long day, like literally, if I've had a long day, especially when I was doing security, if like it was real long, like, and then I can just come back and smoke, because sometimes I wouldn't even smoke on my break. Like sometimes I would, but most of the time I just wait. Like, and then when you come out of work, you're just like, yes mate, and then smoking a joint, and you're being tired, like relaxed, like just de-stressing, like using it for medicinal purposes. I don't know, mentally I just feel a lot better and satisfied with smoking if I feel like I've had to push for it a little bit. Like, what's my best story of picking up draw? My best story of picking up draw is Spain, mate. I was in Spain, and I was on this island. It wasn't actually mainland Spain. It was like an island off of Spain, and it was just dead. Like it was just dead to like get draw. And then I finally managed to pick up, and I was just so gassed, mate. Like literally, I was just so gassed. I just see these guys walking down the street, playing music, and then I was just like, yeah mate, they've got to have weed. Like, literally, they've got to have weed. And then I asked them, and then I was like, oh, they didn't really speak much English, so I was just like 20 euros worth of weed, mate. Just like, I just showed them the money, and I was like, oh yeah, see. I was like, okay, right. He's like, wait here. I got to go up into that house, blah 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 blah. My friend just lives there. They're having a party, blah blah blah. And I was like, oh, okay, one of them ones. But they literally just walked out of that house playing music, and there was a bit waved. So I was like, okay, fine, whatever, I'll wait. And then yeah, they came out and they gave me like a nice big dense fat nug, mate, like literally. And if you want to see it, there is a video of this whole situation, like from start to finish, like of me actually explaining it when I first actually picked it up. Like you can actually watch the video. But yeah, that would be my favorite time of picking up draw. That comes to mind straight away. Like there's been loads of good times where I've just had no weed and I've just randomly like met people that have got weed, or like gone into a town that I don't know, asked someone for weed to buy, and then you've managed to just buy a draw, but just like really unexpectedly, and it's been really good. Like just things like that have happened quite a few times. But to stand out in my mind, like yeah, that little Spanish pickup was decent. Like literally they hooked me up really good, like really good. Do I have any more stories? But yeah, but it depends on what topic, like what kind of stories on subjects you'd want. Like I don't know what to say. Like literally, I don't know what to say. It's just my life, innit? Like it's just like one of them ones. You have to be specific with what stories you actually want, because otherwise, yeah, I don't know, mate. How much crow do you ras daily? Is that smoke? Maybe. I'm assuming it's smoke. And yeah, like I say, depending on my mood, depending on what type of weed it is, how much I have, then yeah. But otherwise I'd say maybe 5 joints on average. Literally 5 joints on average. But just see if there's any more that I've missed. And yeah, that's it. That's all the questions. But yeah, thanks for leaving the questions. And regarding stories, you have to be more specific in terms of what story you want, because otherwise, like I said, it all just blurs into one most of the time, like literally. Just blurs into one. But anyway, I thought I'd just come and sit out on a bench because yeah, it's fucking a nice day, mate. For once, like literally for once, it's a nice day. So sit at the park. I've got some kids playing over there with their parents, where they're like toddlers. The yummy mummy type. But yeah, it's all good, mate. Like literally, it's all good. Like, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling blessed. And on good vibes. Boy, I'm gonna roll another zoot. I should have brought more out really, but it's also good because it means I don't just chain smoke it. Not that I would be able to on this kind of weed, because yeah, it's quite strong. And if I have too much and I just chain smoke, and it's strong weed, then yeah, mate, I just pass out. Like literally, I just be like, yeah, mate, just so stoned, like literally so stoned. Like even if I'm doing stuff, I just be like, just so confused, and like my coordination is just out of sync. But yeah, it's all good, mate. It's all good. But like I say, from here, I roll one, but I'm only gonna smoke half, and then once I finish, just relaxing. And yeah, I dog like the weed. It's coming from a sniffing the weed, trying to sniff my zoot. But yeah, it's all good, mate. Like, it's all good. I'm just relaxing a bit more. Taking a more chilled pace to life, like, literally. Because when this whole thing started, that's what I was doing. I was just taking a nice chilled pace to life, like, literally. Everything was just so slow, and it was nice, like, it was alright. And then, like, because it was all new and everything else, like, no one really, like, troubled you, and, like, do you know what I mean? They didn't have any bullshit and propaganda pumped into their head yet. Whereas now everyone's fucking got into the groove. They're just fucking crazy, mate. Like, literally. Robots, like, literally, surrounded by robots. Not actual humans, like, literally. So I don't really feel bad for them anymore. Like, literally, I don't feel bad for them. Like, fuck them all, like, literally. And this whole thing of, like, preventing deaths and all of this, and, like, do you know what I mean, protecting people and each other and blah blah blah, but sometimes it's like, just let them go, mate. Like, natural selection, like, natural selection, myself included. I do not exclude myself when I say these things, like, do you know what I mean? Because there's people that are going to think the same thing about me, do you know what I mean? So natural selection is the way forward, because that way, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. There's no point trying to keep alive people that are just idiots, like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's like, what's his name? There's a president, and he says those who, what is it? Those who are willing to give up their liberty and freedoms. Those who are willing to give up their liberty and freedoms do not deserve neither liberty or those who are willing to give up their liberty and freedoms for temporary security do not deserve liberty or freedom. Like, literally. And it's true, like, literally. You have to search up the direct quote, but that is basically what he's saying, like, do you know what I mean? We have freedom, and we have, like, do you know what I mean? And that's been given to us by people that have fought for us, do you know what I mean? And had wars so that we can be free and easy, so that we can go out, so that we can chill with each other, so that we can socialise, so that we can go out and, do you know what I mean, make connections and have community, and, like, and you just give it all up, do you know what I mean? You just give it all away, like, you just throw it away and say, oh no, it's fine, I don't want that, I don't want to speak to anyone, I don't want to go outside, I don't want to have fresh air, I don't want to, just like, why would you give that up? Like, that's what you have, like, that's yours, that's what you have as humans, that's all you have, to be able to just walk around and explore, and, do you know what I mean? That's what you have. No one can stop you from doing that, like, and people just allow themselves to get stopped. So, but yeah, like I said, it's just a load of bollocks, mate. There's no point trying to explain it anymore, like, literally, because I just feel like I'm talking to a brick wall, mate. Like, literally, it's so logical with how I'm thinking, but it's just like, it's not logical to make money, like, do you know what I mean? Logical thinking doesn't make the government money, it doesn't make the corporations money, it doesn't do anything, you don't have control if you're nice, like, do you know what I mean? Like, nobody cares about people that are nice, like, which is annoying, because you could do the right thing in quotes, you could do the right thing, and it's just like, it doesn't matter, because nobody cares about someone that does the right thing. Like, nobody will listen to people that do the right thing. Like, you'd think that they would, but they don't. Like, they listen to people that are evil and that will commit mass murder and will just kill you and punish you and imprison you. Like, literally, they're not nice people, but they just listen to them anyway. And even if they don't agree with what they're saying, they still go along with it and be like, oh, it's just a load of bollocks, mate. Do you know what I mean? And, like, what I'm saying, I've seen happen in real life to myself and other people, and it's just like, at the end of it, once you've conformed and you realise, it's like, oh, and yeah, okay, fine, it takes years, but, like, there's people that are, like, old enough to know. If you're like 30 plus, and that's being generous, but if you're like 30 plus, then you're old enough to know better, because that means you would have been born in the 80s and you didn't have smartphones, you didn't have technology, you didn't have mobile phones, like, you just didn't have none of that shit, like, do you know what I mean? It wasn't a thing, like, so they know what life is like with it being nice and being free and easy, and, like, do you know what I mean, all the rave scene and all of that, and just fucking, do you know what I mean? And then they're just conforming to all of this bullshit and saying, oh, I can't live without a smartphone, I can't live without this, I can't live without going to fucking Primark and this and this and this, and the shops are shut and this is this. It's like, but you know, a life when it was different and it wasn't, do you know what I mean? the same as it is now. So why are you acting like you're gonna die just because fucking... Oh, mate, it's never mind, don't worry. I give up. You've won, well done. I give up. This is what they want, because everyone just fucking... No one will understand, mate. No one will get it, mate. They just think I'm nuts. Just come up with some bull. Oh yeah, well, it's your fault for feeling that way, and oh, you know, it doesn't mean what you're saying is right, and blah blah blah, and you don't know any better, and blah blah blah, and how do you know what you're saying is right? And just... But that's the question. I don't know, but that's the point. I always question what I'm saying. Like, even what I've said, yeah, I believe in it, and yeah, I've experienced it and seen it happen, so I know it's true. But at the same time, there's always another angle, there's always another perspective. So I question myself before I say something anyway. Like, I'm my own biggest critic, whereas other people, they'll pump out their bullshit and they're so sure that they're right. And it's like, yeah, but you just read it off Google or off the internet or a Facebook page or a fucking news article or whatever the government have told you in a public message. Like, wherever you're getting this information from that tells you don't go out and do this and do that. Like, the only reason I know about all of this stuff is just because people have a go at me in the street and they start pumping out all this shit. But again, that's just stuff they've read online. It's not anything they've actually know. Like, do you know what I mean? If you used to go around to all the different hospitals, yeah, and do a census and actually educate yourself and actually like do like a mini documentary and see how many hospitals are actually full, who has actually got coronavirus, who has actually been through it, and what has actually happened, how many people have actually survived, like, then fair enough, I'd listen to you. But you don't have that information. Like, do you know what I mean? You don't have that information, yet you're so sure that you should be staying in, you're so sure that you should be wearing a mask. Like, do you know what I mean? You're just thinking about, oh yeah, but they're gonna hurt me, oh yeah, but they're gonna punish me if I don't, oh yeah, but think about why you are being asked to do that. Don't just do it because they're saying, oh, they're gonna hurt me, like, oh, they're gonna throw me in prison, oh, I'm gonna get arrested. Yeah, but why are they asking you to, yeah, you might get arrested, but why are they asking you to do that? Do you know what I mean? All the times that I've been arrested, yeah, fine, people can expose me and be like, oh yeah, you've done this, you've done that, blah blah blah, you've done this. But it's like, yeah, but I agreed with what I've done. Yeah, it might have been the wrong decision in that moment and I could have dealt with it differently, but I agree with what I've done, and I'm not going to suddenly be like, oh no, I shouldn't have done that, it was wrong, blah blah. No, because you was a fucking cunt and I reacted the way I acted, because there's no other way that I can make you understand and make you remember what you've done ain't right. And it doesn't mean people are going to change if you use aggression or violence in order to get your point across, but at the same time, like, they'll think twice before they fuck with you. Like, literally. And I ain't got the energy and patience to sometimes just sit down and explain how I'm feeling and use my words, because it just falls on deaf ears, mate. It's just like fucking have that, you cunt. Anyway. I'm gonna roll another spliff. I should have just brought it out really, because I'm quite cotched here. I'm quite cotched here. You got some geezer over there feeding the pigeons. You got some people sitting over there smoking the fag. Fucking geezer over there with a buggy, rocking it backwards and forwards, and then the kids over there playing in the park, living life, being innocent. This is how it should be. Not a care in the world. But yeah, I'm gonna smoke another joint. Stay blessed, stay lean, and peace.